Hello, everyone. This is the mentor Ismail, and I'm here tonight. What I'd like to do tonight is actually meant. It's meant for the newbies and also for those who are already members. Actually, yeah, we're going to be talking about two of our newest scanners. Actually, there are two scanners that have just been added to the platform. Okay, from the stable of Jifu to make our job easier. Now, remember, we have several scanners. As a matter of fact, we have about making plus these two now. In addition with these two, we'll be having like 9 scanners. Now, these scanners are not meant for you to to keep on using all the scanners. You just look for the one that fits your own style, that fits your schedule, that fits your learning style, and that appeals to your trading style as well, So remember, our goal in Jifu or here at Jifu is to actually to help you to even as a newbie, or you're a pro, or you're intermediate, or you're experienced, whichever person you are, our goal is to make your job easier, to make you trade like a pro. Now, when I say trade like a pro, not just trading like a pro, I mean the profit, being profitable, right? That's the point, actually. If not, what else? I mean, the reason we're all here is to make money, right? We're here to make money. That's it. So that's why Jifu is making the job easier for you. So tonight, I'm talking about just these two scholars. And in order not to waste our time, I think we have to dive straight into the job for the day. All right. I have to share my screen. Maybe share my screen right about now. I hope I'm sharing the entire screen though. All right. So now, quickly, okay, so at least what I want to do now is I'm going to sign into, or already I'm signing. And that brings me to that point. Some of us, I've seen so many people sometimes, they ask me these questions, like they tell me things like, hey, can you just help us? Can you please see how you can make this cheaper for us? Like, let's pay lesser. Like, they talk to me about that. I see maybe they think I own the academy. No, I'm just a member like you are. Actually, I'm a member like you are. The thing is, I pay the same money you paying now. I paid that money when I was joining. Okay, we're just like the same. The only difference here could be the experience, right? I've been a profitable trader before Jifu. And Jifu makes my job easier, so I don't have to stay in front of the screen analyzing and all that, and no more mistakes from my end because the AI is doing the job for me. So, well, yeah. Another difference, maybe I've been in the forex trading space as a trader, as a coach, as a mentor, and also in the business space as a builder, as a business builder. I manage teams. Yeah, it's been a thing that I've been doing for a very long time. I do public speaking and all that. When you put all of this together, it makes me have an edge. Okay, which of course, if you all have this experience as well, you can have that edge. But you don't really need that to succeed. What you need is joining the team, showing you how to use the scanner. Simplest way. You will see what I'm going to be showing you. It's so simple. It's not a matter of following some instructions. Practice for like 3 to 4 days, and then you're good to go. You make money just like a pro. That's the point. All right, let's get into it. All right. Also to remind you, when you make your payment and subscribe to Jifu, you have access to so many things. Actually, you have access to make money from the forex market like a pro. You can make money from the crypto market like a pro. You get hooked up with e-commerce for those who want to make money from Alibaba and all those stuff like a pro, like someone who was already doing it before, because they're going to be with you, showing you how it works. Now, social media expert also, you want to have followers, you want to learn how to whatever it is that you do on social media that make successful mindset. Yeah, that's self-development. And then finance, credit and stuff, facilities and so on. You learn everything here. Now, when you make that payment, it gives you access to all of these programs. But here we are, we're just talking about Forex, right? And crypto, Forex and crypto, right? So we dive into it. So now when you go here, you come straight to the scanner. Now, as you can see, like I said before, we have like what? We have the first scanner, golden era, trend wave, smart scanner, smart monies. Some of these ones I've actually talked about them before. If you want to learn more about these ones, you go to my YouTube channel, you see them there. Okay. So we have the Q shot, we have the Sniper Pro, we have the Supernova, Quantum, and the WOLF X. Tonight, what am I discussing? I'm going to be discussing about the two scanners here, Supernova scanner and the WOLF X. These scanners like are out of the world. Well, just like the rest of them, but this is new, so I need to tell you about them. So that's what I want to do tonight. All right, let's go into it. As you can see, this is trend wave on BTC right now, 1 hour. We're about to this trade already. They're on TP3 right now. See, it says short here. When it says short, you sell. Now, of course, we all know those who are forex traders. You see this point here, the EMA is here, the 200 EMA, the 50 EMA is here, and there's something that is bigger than that. We'll call it the 238, right? This is the line you're seeing here, the 238 line. Where is it? Okay, sorry, this is the 238 line. Okay, it works like just like the EMA, right? So you see, breaks in and then here money made that, but that's not the point. That's not where we're coming today. Don't mind me. I have this style a lot, and sometimes it takes my time. My journey is not always far. The journey is always short, but I have too many bus stops. That's the problem. It's just a matter of excitement. So let's go straight into Supernova. I'm starting with the Supernova. How do you make money trading Supernova? Now, there are two ways you can make money from Supernova, okay? And so there's a way when the scanner calls the trade. So start with the scanner's way, okay? This is simple. I'm not going to spend more time on this one. Just follow the instruction and I tell you good to go. So let's look at the Supernova. Remember, irrespective, no matter how perfect the system is, you can't be perfect, okay? Meaning there are times for losses, there are times for wins. The good thing is you have more wins, like way more in terms of the winnings than the losses. Not just that, the risk to reward, of course, make up for your losses. Now, what is risk to reward? It's simple. Just a saying, whenever you're entering a trade, if you're entering with 1%, make sure the trade is giving you a minimum of 2%, not just 1%, which means if you're entering a trade, okay, you are making minimum of, let's say you're entering a trade with $10, you're making minimum of $20. That's like double of whatever you're risking. That's simple as that. Now let's come to Supernova. I won't say much. It's plain as you can see. So the scanner calls the signal. Now let's go, because the only way we could do this is back testing, right? Back testing, as you can see here. If you go previously, let's just start from the recent one. Here, this is on BTC. What's that? Okay, so when you get here, the first thing you do, as usual, this is what we always do, right? So the first thing you do is you click on Supernova, you come here to, okay, this is US 30. This was for last Friday, but I want to talk about today. Today is Sunday, actually, so the market is not open yet. So US 30 is not moving, it's not functioning. So we'll be going to crypto. Now, when you come here, as soon as you click Supernova, I think US 30 is a default instrument here, but it's your job to change it to the instrument you're willing to trade. Now, if US 30 is what you want to trade, then you leave it at US 30. Before like evening time now, the next few hours from now, the market will open, all the instruments will be activated. You can trade what you want. But now we'll be talking about either BTC or ETH USD, which is Ethereum. Now, right now, because it's weekend, right? It's Sunday. So how do you do that? There are two ways to do that, but I'll show you the easiest one as a beginner. So what you do is look at this part of the screen, you go to the left, you tap on that arrow, it expands, okay? Now here, well, if needed, you can just put this to your own time zone. Like I'm in Lagos, probably I'm in Nigeria. So Lagos represents Nigeria. So in Nigeria here, we use +1 when it comes to the universal time. Talk about time zone, right? So leave it at 1 minute. The default time for every scanner, they have their default time they came with, which means the intention of whoever created this particular one is to trade on 1 minute. Now, that doesn't mean stop you from going to other minutes, but the truth is you get more results from what they give you as a default time frame. So you leave it at that. Now you come here to search for the product. Now remember, before you go there, we have 4 classes of instruments, right? We have the crypto represented with the Bitcoin logo. We have the Forex, which is the currency pairs. Yeah, currency pairs, which is represented by the euro. We have the indices, which is represented here with the lines, whatever you call these ones, I don't know. And then we have the what? The commodities like gold, oil, and the rest of them, which is represented by this. A running tap, something like an oil tap, I don't know. Just look at the symbol. So how do you know when you click on this one, you come to the symbols here, all you see is crypto. When you click on this one, you see, you come here, all you see is currency pair. When you click on this one, which is the indices, all you see is indices. When you click on this one, all you see is what commodities like gold, oil, and silver, platinum, and the rest of them. But right now, like I said, it's a crypto time because it's weekend, so I'm going to click it. I'll choose BTC USD. I could choose any one of these ones, but we're all familiar with BTC USD or ETH USDT. Either one, okay? So now, when I click on this one, so let's say I want to trade. Hopefully, we see a trade here. Hopefully, there'll be trade for us right now. But so far, look at the vault. So, okay, let me go there. So when you open now we've done the right thing, right? First of all, your time zone is set. The default time is there. You've chosen your instrument, which is BTC USDT. Now you can fold this back so you can have enough space, right? So let me go up here so we can have enough space. So let's look at Supernova. How it actually works is you wait for Supernova to call a trade idea. That's the first way of trading Supernova, okay? You wait for it to call a trade. And the first way is actually the best way, right? You wait for it to call a trade. So now, right now, whenever you see the star, the market is about to go up. But you don't trade when you just see the star. That's when you see the star, you don't just trade, you wait for it to call a buy. There's a candle that will form that will call a buy, that will make the market or the scanner calls a buy. Okay, until that candle is formed, that's when you can actually buy. Okay, so right now is not the time to buy. You wait for the scanner, it's not calling, fine. That's the first way of trading this scanner. Okay, Supernova, as you can see in the past. And you know why this is not being called? The rules must be respected. This is that will only be called when the volume is high. The volume is low right now, so it's a fast-paced type of trade. Okay, so if you go back in time, you see that you notice that whenever there's a red, the market goes down. Whenever there's a green, the market goes up. Now, this is just the reason why we have the two styles of trading. That's why I came up with that idea, because the first style is the scanner when the scanner calls the trade. The second style now, if the scanner is not actually calling the trade, and you still want to take some trade, so long the volume is good, maybe you're trying to take some trade, okay? Now, there's a way you do about that. So I'm trying to go to the past and see areas where the scanners may have called a trade. So the scanner is giving the signal here for every swing low, swing high, like that. You get this star, okay? The star will come up, right? Now, but then no trade being called. So now let's go, that will put us to the next style of trading Supernova. So what's the next style of trading Supernova? What you need to do with that is, there are two ways of doing that. There are two ways actually. There are two ways, right? The first way is when you use the EMAs. When you use the EMAs, okay? Oh, sorry, forgive me. Now, I don't want you to use the EMAs. The first way is just using the 238 line. Now, this 238 line acts like this EMA. These are EMAs, right? Exponential moving average. But this one is called 238. It's a special type of EMA that has in it a volume profile and also comes with a volatility profile. So it measures both two things. And those are very, very important. It helps you make a good decision. So whenever market crosses this path, coming back to it is very difficult immediately. It happens, not that it doesn't happen, but most of the time, whenever it crosses this path, meaning it's ready to move up a bit before coming backward, and then it's like that. If you notice, I'll go take it back in time, So let me tell you what I'm trying to say. This is what we call the market, right? Okay, this is what we call the market. So if you notice that whenever the market goes up like this and then breaks it out like this, it goes up, right? And then when it breaks it down like this, it comes down. The same thing happening when it breaks it up, it goes up. When it breaks it down, it comes down, right? Now, that is what I'm trying to say. So most times, like 90% of the time, when the market crosses this path, it's about to go up a bit. It could go farther or even whatever, but just know that whenever it crosses, it's just kind of going up stuff. Like the market is about to go up. Whenever it crosses back, it's kind of coming down. So that is being noted. Now, noting that, how do you take the advantage of that? If the market has not, if scanner have not called the trade and you want to make your scalping now, this time around, if the scanner does not call the trade, okay, you only scalp. And the scalping, of course, even when the scanner calls the trade, it's still scalping, right? I mean, scalping is a fast trade, in and out, okay? So how do you do that? Quickly, let's look at it. So the first one, now this second style, which is the one we are doing if the scanner is not calling the trade, it's categorized into two. You can categorize them into two. The first one is whenever the star, the green star, okay, now, whenever the green star is touching this yellow line or this orange line, okay, whenever it's touching it, okay, that means the market is about to buy. When it's touching it like this, okay, you have to take a buy, right? You have to take a buy. So long as the green star that is coming close this way, happening around here, so long as it's not far away, if it's happening this close, okay, you take a buy. So how do you know? How do you take a buy? Remember, the green star we have to form first. So the moment the green star says, yeah, I'm here, it means the green star will probably form after the closure of this candle. Or even it may form before the closure, but the moment it forms, you don't take a trade yet, you allow this candle to close. Whichever candle that starts the green star, okay? Now that's if in the case of a green star, see it's happening on top of this line, right? So the green star, you allow this to close, and when it closes, what do? You take a buy from here. You take a what? You take a buy. Now, how do you take this trade? You take a buy using instant execution. Now, when you join the academy, if you are new, if you've never heard that before, that's the first thing we're going to teach you on. We'll train you on MT5, MT4 trading and all the stuff that comes with it. That won't be a strange thing to you afterwards, right? But the point here is, whenever you see the close of this candle, you take a buy. Now, when you take a buy, now here you have to learn how to use the two, okay? When I say these two, there's a one called short two and the long two. Long position two is when you are buying. It helps you to measure your profit and your risk, okay? Your reward and your risk. And the short one also helps you what? Measure your reward and your risk when you are selling. So remember, the short is selling, the long is buying. So now this time around, it's a buy because it's upward, right? It's on its way up, right? So when you say a buy, you click a buy already. Now you'll be asking me, how would you know the risk to use? Here you are allowed to use the flat suggestive risk size. You know, there's this particular one that is being made, which is, you know, if you have 100 USD, trade between 0.01 to 0.02 max. If you have these, that chart, we have it everywhere. You can check it online, it's there as well. You can use that. I mean, that's the only thing you can do here. So that's the first thing. So let's say the first thing is what you take a buy. I'm going to be writing the rules, don't worry. So you take the buy. The second thing is you come here to this toolbox, right? You take a buy to, which is a long position to that same area, where you took the buy, where you click, you know, remember the close of this candle, you click a buy. As soon as you click that buy, you bring the tool there, you click that particular area, making sure that it forms along your entry, the same price that you came in, okay? So there are two ways to do this. You can do it just by dragging, okay? So look at it, the middle one is your entry. This one, the red one here is your stop loss, which is your risk. The green one is your reward if you make it, okay? So which happens, we call profit, right? So now if you have to adjust this, so this is what you adjust first of all. You want to make sure that it comes to this exact point where you took the trade. So how do you know that? As you're dragging it here, you're looking at the price here. You see this price is moving up and down. So you remember, you check your broker, well, your MT5, the price you enter is what you'll be looking out for here. So as soon as you do that, let's say you get it now, the next thing you are focusing on is this number. This number, you know, if you're taking this type of trade now, if you're taking it using the style I'm teaching you right now, okay, you have to target only 1-to-1. 1-to-1 means your same amount of your reward is what you get from this one, and then you should be out. So here now you want to see 0 points. So you want to see 1, okay? But before you do that, the first rule is what? 1 is your risk size now, okay? So you have to adjust this one as well. Now, the moment you take this kind of buy, when you take this kind of buy, your stop loss must be below the line, this line, this yellow, this orange line. The stop loss must always be below it. So if you have to be below it, you have to come down here and drag this one like this until it's below the line. You see, dead below it. Okay, can be dead as this. I mean, close as this. Yeah, give it a little bit of room. Okay. Now, as you can see, now this is your stop loss. Okay, so as you've done this now, it will help you to have a value for your stop loss on your MT5. Now look at it, look towards here. The part you see in red is your stop loss. Remember, the part you see in gray is your entry, right? Now you have to determine your TP, which is your reward. Remember, I said you have to target 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Now, how would you know? You look at this figure, you want to make sure it comes to 1. So you keep dragging the green part until it's 1 on the dot. Make sure it's 1 on the dot. Don't get greedy. It's okay. Remember, it's scalping, right? It's okay. This one now is okay. 1.05 doesn't matter. It's negligible. So you see, when you put it at 1.01, so you see, now imagine you took this trade just like I told you right now. After the closure of this candle, you took it around here. You put your stop loss here. You're in the trade. By now, at the end of this part, you see, it will have hit your TP. You are out of the trade. So what does that mean? That means if you had risked $20 on this trade, you would have made extra $20. So if you had $100 in your account, your capital for trading, you put out $20 out of it for this trade, you would have made extra $20, which means your $100 will be going to 120 USD right now, just with this one. Let's try it on another one again. So let's keep going. Now here, remember, I said the first style is the star, whether red or green, must be forming on the line here, on this orange line, or a little bit above it, just like you see it here. Right. So this one is not there. We're coming to the second way now of using the same strategy, okay? So the first way is it must be close to it. So let's look for something similar, whether the red star or the green star, which means whether the selling star or the buying star. No one is close to the line yet. Okay. This guy is close to the line. This one is considered close as well. Look at this one is close, right? So let's say you see something like this again above this line. Remember, when it's above, you buy, right? Especially when it's green star, you don't even need to check it. When it's green star and it's close to this line, the way this one is close, okay? Now, what do? You wait for this kind of candle to close. Look at this candle here. After the closure of this one, you take your sell or your buy around here again, as you did before. So what do? You click on the long two, put your entry to be here. Remember the entry, the gray line. Your stop loss will be below this line, okay? And remember, focus on this part. It has to be 1-to-1. I know some of you be like, oh, but it went further than that. But hey, bro, it's the market. You have to have rules, no matter what. Let your rules be your focus, not the market. The market will distract you. The market is actually there to hate you, take your money, make you cry, you know? So you don't want to do that. You want to be in control of your emotions. You want to be in control of anything. The first step to discipline in Forex trading is having rules and sticking to them irrespective. It doesn't mean you're stupid, okay? Now, if you're not, maybe if you're been there, you're very experienced, you could trail profit. The essence of this whole thing is to secure your capital, because the first rule of trading is securing your capital. The second rule is what? Securing your profit. The third rule is trade with your profit. The next one, isn't it? All right. So you see, it's working, right? You have hit TP1 and then you're gone. I mean, I'm sorry, 1-to-1 and you're gone. You make money, you're out of the trade. You can wait for another one. You can go for another instrument. You know, just keep looking. If you don't see, you let it go. You wait, you come back again. You know, and all that. That's all you need to do. Some will say, "Hey, man, but hey, I have to come and be checking." Yes, please. You have to check. If you want to make money, you have to be busy. You have to be serious. I mean, if you had a job and all you need to do is checking a particular app every now and then for every second, you'll do that, isn't it? Now, if you can do that for a boss, do that for your dream as well. That's all. All right. So that's the first type of strategy. I mean, I'm just looking for a sell. Let me look for the one that is a sell scenario. So at least we have both examples. Okay. All righty. Okay. This one is not. Actually, it is. It's not. I won't count this because remember, it has to be below. Now, this is it. So if it's a green one now that happened here, to be okay, because above this line is the buy side. The market is going up. Above this line is the sell side. Now, if this were to happen, it could have been here. I would have preferred the red to happen, the red star to happen here, anywhere here, or on top of the line, doesn't matter. But it's just above, so no. This will go for the second strategy. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. So let's come to this one. Good. We have one example. So look at this one now forming below the orange line. So let's say this is formed. Do you know why it's formed like that? You wait for this particular momentum candle to close. After the closure of this candle, what do? You bring the scanner, you bring your short through this time around. Remember, it's a red star, short. Okay, you go short. So now, here is your entry again. Now, remember the rule. Your SL must be a little bit above the orange line, which is good for this, right? Then your TP, which is your target, your reward. Remember, you have to focus on this one. 1, 1, 1. Okay, it's 1, right? And you see, as you can see here, what happened? You take the trade around here, you dance around your entry, threaten your stop loss a little bit, not even too close like that, but then done, you make your money. So that's the scenario for this will have been very good as well. But for me, I like it to be below, not above. Now, if it were to be green, fine, but you see, above, no, 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 no. It's worked with the second strategy, but not this one. Now let's talk about this one. See? You see this one? Directly on the line. Now, let's say you see this. What happens? So as soon as you see this candle closed, bam, this one closed, right? Okay? You can do it here, you can do it here. Either way, you still be in profit. So let's take this one because we need a momentum candle, right? So let's say this one's okay. Now, as soon as this one closed, because you would have known actually. So the moment you see the green star, some of you would have just done it because you are new. It's okay. Still here, it's still safe. As a matter of fact, I mean, safe, right? So, but then, let's say you wait for this second candle, it happens, you can do that. And then there's a closure here. What do you do? What do you do? Remember, what do you do? If you're here now, I mean, I'll be asking, but this is not a live streaming, it's just a video tutorial, right? So now, what do you do again? Remember, it's the green one now, the green star. You go for the long two, okay? For the long two, whoosh, click on the buy, your TP, your SL, Your SL is below, and target your one. It's done. You make your money, you're out. You see it, you hit it and go, right? All right, that would be enough for that strategy. Now let's go to the second strategy, okay? Second type of strategy, okay? Let's go to that second type of strategy. We'll go to the second strategy right here. Oosh, 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 oosh. So we'll go to the second strategy, still trading this kind of supernova. Okay. Now the second one, remember the first one is I said when it's happening directly close to the line. So the green star have to be above, the red one have to happen below, but very close, like close or directly on top of the line, right? The 238 line, which is the orange line. Now the second strategy is crossover. Somebody say crossover, like it's a live training, right? So the crossover, you trade the crossover now. When it crosses over, is also another. But now the issue with the crossover, sometimes it has huge SL, okay, but it's okay. And then also, you know, I mean, losses, I mean, things that it's part of the game as well. So let's look at this one, for example. Now there was a green star that was being called. You don't take the trade until there's a crossover. Now the problem here is, of course, there's a crossover. After the closure of the candle that crossed over, like look at it, the market crossed over this line. You wait for the candle that crossed over. That will be your entry. Okay. Now this is more technical than the first one. The previous one is easier and better, right? So now, but this one is one you'll be seeing most. So I mean that's why you have to have plan B, right? So now it crosses over, and then this is the closure. What happened here? You take it, but what do you do here? Remember, you put your stop loss below this line. No matter what, put your stop loss below this line, below the orange line, right? I mean, some could argue that, okay, maybe they'll take it down here, but hey, the line matters. The moment it crosses over, forget it's going down. So what's this? Why should I make it bigger? Do you get my point? The moment it crosses over this line, it's coming down. So either way, it's still going to be a loss, but you have the opportunity to reduce the loss, right? So what do you do? Remember, just this line, right? I've done that myself. It's below this line. Now you target your 1-to-1 and you have it here. That's crossover. Remember, crossover. So you see, this time around doesn't have to do with a star. It has to do with a crossover. Now let's look for another example so you understand. For every crossover. So what do you do is whenever you come to check your supernova and you see the market bouncing around there, the moment you see a red star, know that the market is probably coming to cross over. If you come here and move backward, then you know that you don't have a trade. But when it crosses over, so you have to be patient, you have to be watching the market, or you'll be coming to check intermittently. So look at the red star now shows. So what do? You wait for, I mean, it's just a 1 minute candle. So this is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I mean, look at it. Just in 4 minutes. You can stand and watch, for God's sake. We watch series movies for 22 hours, right? So now let's go there. If this candle, if the red star is called and then it starts making his move, you don't take any trade yet, okay? You wait for a crossover. What's the crossover candle? Can you look at it? This is the crossover candle. This is a candle that actually crossed this line, and it's long candle. It's a good one. So you wait for the closure of this one, and after the closure, what do you do? What do you do, guys? Short. Remember, you short below this. So you take your trade around here, and your stop loss around here. The stop loss actually you can do here, right? But so just make it like this. Just all you need is above this orange line, okay? And then you do your 1-to-1. Guys, you can just like this, just with doing this one, you can take 5 trades a day, you know, making $20 on every trade, assuming you risk $20, or making $10 on every trade, assuming you risk $10. And you do this 5 times a day, 3 times, you make 30, you know, because for you to do $10, meaning you have like $100 account, you make $30 in a day on that, that's 30%. That's a very big, huge one for you. I mean, assuming it was $1,000, that's $300 on a daily basis, assuming everything goes right. But this, you have a let me use 90% win rate with this one. Yeah. So you see, 1-to-1 hit, you make your money and you're out. Let's go check another one. A crossover, remember. So this guy got here, not the crossover candle. Well, you could call this one the crossover candle, right? The crossover candle. Now, this is another type of scenario. Remember, the candle that crossed over, okay, look at it, that crossed over, okay, where is the base of that candle? So this candle crossed over, right? It's not a momentum candle. I would prefer this kind of candle, right? The big one. But let's say you took this one. I mean, as a newbie, you wouldn't sometimes know the difference. So let's just stick with the one, this one. So what happens now? You take the trade. So meaning this candle closed here. So when you take the trade, what do? Remember the same rule. You take the trade around here. Now, but there's a little twist here. All right, guys, almost time for my prayers. I'll just try and do this. I'll pause and I'll come back again. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, now you take the trade here. Let me make it bigger. You take the trade there where the candle closed. Okay. You see, here. Sorry, you took it here. Your stop loss will be below this line. But remember, this was the candle that went up, right? After the closure of this candle, right? So your stop loss be below. You see why you need to give room to this stop loss thing below this line, right? Now, what happened after that? Let me enlarge this one. What happened after that? You see the market moving up and down, right? So came here, closed, okay? But didn't get to the stop loss, but nearly. Now, depending on your broker, I mean, I use a good broker though with a very good spread. So depending on your broker, came here because this could have been a loss, which may be a loss for some people, right? So he came here, bam, 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 went up, and then what happens? Oh, what did I do? What happened after that, guys? He gave us what we're looking for. I mean, you don't have to have everything every time, right? But then he gave us one-to-one. If you have a good broker like mine, he gave us what we want, one-to-one, and you're good out of the market. You know, wait for another crossover. It happens here again, right? But this time around is a sell. So this guy closed here. Okay, when it closed here, what do? You take your trade around here, make your stop loss above. You see, above that line. I mean, this thing is also a learning curve. Like when you see these ones now, this is why we give rooms. Okay, this is why we give rooms. I think what I'll do is update. I don't want to make it too complicated. If not, I'll be giving you the numbers. I mean, figures that you just have to target. We're on Bitcoin, remember. So, I mean, it's good because if you don't, this will be this could be very erratic for anyone taking it. Okay. So, like I was saying, you take this one, make your stop loss, give it a little bit of room. So long it's above this orange line. Okay, so long as above this orange line, just give it that room. At least it's like 105, so 100 pips or so for BTC, yeah, something like that, because with that to still work out, right? So you target what? 1-to-1. Okay, so now that is something you get, which is fantastic here, right? This is very beautiful, right? So always trade using the 1-to-1 so you can be out of it as soon as possible. It happens here again. The break was here, right? The break was here. You take a long around here. Okay, remember, give it room now, at least with what we've seen so far. Okay, so 1-to-1. Now remember, now another thing is this. For me, right? For me, if you're in this trade, you see that you have more wins than losses, right? If at all your broker is very tight, sorry, your broker is very wide when it comes to spread, right? So look at this one. As a matter of fact, if you look at this deeply, after taking a buy here, you see, you could have even made your 1-to-1. I mean, yeah, you could have made your 1-to-1 here, but you didn't get there almost. Okay. I mean, for me, I would have closed it, but then it still happened anyway. So he came here and gave you the TP, and you're out. So guys, make it roomy. Always make your stop loss roomy. I mean, make it wider, big. So how do you measure that? Because the measurement is very important. I mean, so you don't discretionary measurement. So what I'll be telling you now, let me bring in something new for you. So whenever you take a trade from here, like this one you take from here, make sure the stop loss is. Now, this is a bit technical, so don't worry when you come, we'll teach you that. It's what we call the wave of the market. Like, see, can you see this? The market went up here, came down, went up here, came down, went up here, came down, went up here, came down. Can you see that? Went up and came down, right? Now, if you look at this one very closely, so the market went up and came down, right? See, went up here, came down, then went up here like this, right? So remember, you took the trade based on this one. Okay, this one was not there when you took the trade. This was not there. All these ones were not there. It was this one that was there. So where would you put your stop loss? Always put your stop loss at the last low. You know, remember, let's go again. The market is in waves, right? So it came down, went up here, came down, went up here, came down, went up here, came down, went up here where you took the trade now. So as you take the trade, okay, you have taken the trade. What do? You bring out the two and you make this last down of the market, this last one. See, stopped here, right? Make it your stop loss. Then your TP will now change for you to be 1. Aha. So you see, if you do that now, as it went up, it came down, went up to almost your TP, came down like this, didn't get to your SL. I think that's the style now. So for all of these ones, you see this one, when the stop loss is above, so you remember, we took the trade here. We took the trade here, right? Did I? Yeah, I took the trade here, right? So the stop loss of this one will be very wide. It will be here. This was the last one. It came down. See, it was here, came down, went up here, and came down. So put your stop loss here. So that means your 1-to-1 will be longer. Guys, you see now, right there, I'm correcting this one. So forgive my mistake. That wasn't a mistake. It was something, you know, that came up because I'm trying to make it simple. Remember, I mean, as a Forex trader, we know what to do here. But as a newbie, you don't have to be a Forex trader to make money here. Do you get? So that's why I'm giving you this. So all you need to learn is how to manage. Even you could bring this one even up if you want to. Consider this one as the last low. Sorry, as the last high. Remember the strategy. Market came here, went here, came down, went up here, came down, went up here, then came down here, and you took your trade here. So you have to bring your stop loss to the last one before this one, which was here for itself. So now to measure, to have the countermeasure for your TP, for your reward, you bring it one here, it hits without stress. So the same thing here. The market came here, went up, came here, okay, came here, went up, came here where you took your trade. You took your trade here because of this candle for a buy. Now, what was the last low? What was the last low before this candle? The last low was this one. So your SL will be here, right? Your SL will be here, which is okay. You see, it's not threatening, and then you have your 1-to-1. So using that strategy will help you out. So you see the same thing here. The market came up, okay, down, up, down. Now it now came up here. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, sorry, this is a different strategy. The on top of this. So this is why I need to delete this one. You know, this time around we're doing the crossover, right? Crossover. Okay, like this one now is a crossover. So this one now, the truth is, if you're going to take this one, then you have to do it this way because the last market came here and then came here and broke here. So you took your trade here. So your stop loss will be here. Then your 1-to-1 will be around here. So that's the strategy, guys. On Supernova. Remember, there are two ways to take Supernova. When there is now, that's when the scanner is not calling the trade. But when the scanner is calling the trade, it's much more easier. So let's go to when the scanner is calling the trade. Remember, because it's low volume, so we can't take anything. But let's go to US 30. I mean, we have to go to previous ideas, right? I think previous idea on Friday, go back to US 30 to see when the scanner calls the trade. How do you now take it? When the scanner calls the trade, how do you take it? If I'm talking too fast, you know what to do? It's a YouTube video, so you can just drag it backward and watch again. And that's my nature. But I mean, I'm willing to work on that. Don't worry. I just like my videos getting too long, but then I have a lot to say, so that's what I'm saying. So now, when the scanner calls the trade, this is how it looks. Like you can see here, you see a significant candle here that will come up. Then the scanner calls the trade. So when the scanner calls the trade, you have no problem. What do you need to do? So for example, the scanner called buy here. What do you do? When it calls buy, you wait for this candle to close. As soon as the candles close, what happens? You take your buy. But the rule of this one is when that happens, whenever the scanner calls a buy, okay, your stop loss must be below the green star. Do you understand? So the stop loss must be below, and then you target 1 to 2, double the risk. You target double of your risk. Okay. So what do I mean by that? So let's see. The market calls the buy. what do you do here? You come here. Remember, buy means long, and the candle probably happened here. So you took your position here. Your stop loss will be as wide as this. You come to this level of this star. Actually, not the level of the star, the level of this candle here. So which is it already. Now remember, this is your entry. So the market came a bit down close to your TP, threatening it. You have to go to 1 to 2 on this one. Now, there are rules, of course, that will guide you on how to secure your profit when it comes to 1 to 2, 1, or anything above 1, okay? But that you'll learn when you come to the academy. I'm not to give you all of that on this single video. I mean, it will be boring and too long. You see, target hit. Here now, you can make 10, when you have your $10 on this one, you make $20 right now. So let's go to another buy and see if that strategy works out. Okay, this is another buy calling after the candle. You take your trade here. Okay. Now, luckily for you, you have the last low here. Okay, so now you can deal with that. Because remember, this one now, the last low after the call here was this one. Remember the rule, right? The last low was this one. That's why I said put it around the star area. The last low. Because remember, you took the trade here. You would have known what will happen here. So you took the trade and then you dragged to the last low. Remember, the market goes this way, this way, this way, came down like this, then this way, you know. So you target the last low here. The same thing you do here. You come to this part. The buy happened here. You took your entry here. Okay, this was the candle that gave you your entry. So the last low was here. Right now, if you look at this one, okay, yeah, this was the last low, right? So the last low was here below the buy. Am I right? Am I correct? No. Yeah, this one happened here. The last low was this one. Okay, so the last low was this one here. All right, yeah, here. Now you target 1 to 2. Well, what happened here? He gave only 1 to 1. Okay, so what happened here, guys? This now would have given you equal of your profit. Now, normally when you get to the academy, they will teach you break even and all the stuff. You would have at least made some money here, but it won't give you everything you want. But then even at that, how do you even escape this? So let's say you're in profit, guys. That's the rule now. Whenever you see this, the market crosses. Remember, the game is crossing. Now, remember, the moment the market crosses over and close like this, for me, I'll start doubting. I'll close in profit. Just close your trade in profit. Because meaning the momentum is not that big enough. The moment it crosses over here, it's always difficult to go back here without coming to sweep or to take something out, then go back up. You get the point? So that's a special case scenario. Now let's go to sell here. For example, the market said sell. The candle says sell. So you sell here, right? So what do you target? This one is not a good one, but then there's a way to it. So you take your sell candle here. The stop loss is supposed to be the last low. So this was the last low, right? The last low. Now, it gave you some profit, went and then take it out. But remember my rule, for me, the moment it crosses over like this, back into this line, okay, you stop your loss around here so you don't take too much. Or, of course, you follow what we teach you eventually when you come to the academy, which is what? The moment you're in profit, move your stop loss to entry, something like that. But either way, even if this is a loss, it's okay. I mean, you always have other trade that will help you, that will be a win, right? So let's see this one. When it says buy, what happens here? Let's see if it gives us what we're looking for. It says buy, you take your candle here. Okay, so your stop loss is here, the last low here. That's the lowest low. Same thing happened here. This is actually, so I believe this time around, you even have a signal that will tell you this is not a good time, actually. So it's a buy, remember. So it almost gets to, okay, right. Almost give you, so you have to be 2 times 2, right? It's times 2. Oosh. I don't want to pick this one up. So times 2, guys. Times 2. But did he give you up to the 2? No, he gave you some profit. But if you're going to be using our rule, of course, you would have moved your stop loss to entry and we are taking you out without touching your capital. But either way, it's a good one. If you follow that rule, another rule I told you of, which is whenever you're in profit and you see this market crossing down like this, in fact, you just close the trade at that point. So it will be a very little loss. Okay. Okay. So now we have this one as well. Okay. We have this. Let's see this work out here. The short position calls a sell. You know, remember it has to be after this candle of the sell. Then your stop loss will be here, right here. Okay. Then you target your 2, 1 to 2, 0 to 1 to 2. Now we gave you only what? This is 1 to 2, guys. We gave you half And I gave you, I mean, a little bit above the half because what you get here is 1.3. You see, 0.7 away to what you actually want on the target. But remember, as soon as you get equal of your whatever your trade, you move your stop loss to entry, or even move it up to profit. Like you can move it down below this one, you know, somewhere like that, and your stop loss will be here. Okay, all that will be teaching you when you come to the academy, and it's so that you be closing with a little profits, and then I mean, or you have your capital intact. Okay, so let's see this one again. I think this one is a good one. It says buy, right? What do? You buy at that point. Your stop loss will be what? Below the last low, and then your TP is 2. Okay, this one now is all right, this one is 2 as well, right? So let's see. Yeah, did he? A little bit. Well, hey, bro, I mean, you take this trade. I'm telling you, it gives you almost what you want. Okay, I think another thing is here. Yo. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Look at it. I mean, this is it, right? Let's bring the line here. So you got to your point. I mean, to the TP area. Give you your 1 to 2. Now, the good thing is, let's say, even these ones were losses, you know, they will take the entire 1% you are using as your risk, right? Some of the profits are here if you follow those rules I'm talking about, right? I mean, these 3 here that happened just here. So these 2 will have given you double, which of course will have covered for these losses without touching your capital. Okay. So guys, we may be to make it easy, we may still be targeting 1-to-1. You know, if you're targeting 1-to-1 also this one, which means 1 instead of 2. I think that's the only thing. Remember, I'm doing this as it is, so there is a bound for us to make corrections based on, because if you are a forex trader with experience, of course, you know how to maneuver and still be a good profit in all of this one. But the thing is, this is for newbies, so it's better to make it easy. Just go for 1-to-1 on this one. I mean, Supernova, yeah. All right, guys, that is that on Supernova. Let's go to the next one called WOLF X. I love this one. You see this one? You need no much effort on this one. It just shows you how to go about it. Okay. Okay. So if you look at this one, this comes with entries, gives you all the parameters. Unlike Supernova, this gives you all the parameters, right? As you can see here, it gives you all the parameters. So WOLF X is another scanner. Okay. So what it does is it checks the market for you, measure the volume, measure the direction, measure the good sniper entry, works on 1 minute as well, and then gives you all the parameters. Like for example, now, you know, this is like a new scanner, so it's still a work in progress. So you have to make some other things yourself. Like for example, the TP3, you have to trace it yourself. But how to do that is simple. So this is how it works. So whenever it's at the entry, this is the entry. The gray line here is entry, right? This line here is entry. So what you do, the moment the scanner calls out the entry, you see this triangle to bring out all these parameters. So you follow it, okay? With this one, I didn't have any, I don't know. It's very difficult to have any losses here because based on the experience, I never had any losses. The only thing I had was break even. Like I could be TP1 and it's on the way to TP2, gets to TP2, I move my profit here, my stop loss here, and then it came down and take me out. It took me out here. That happened. But then it went up again. That was GBJPY. Now went up and hit all the TPs because of my break even. The other one I closed here intentionally. Why? Because I love this one. Why? The reason is simple. Whenever I give you the setup, just take it. No question asked. Okay. Now, but then there's something I'll just tell you how you take it. So see, this is your entry. Remember that too. It's very good. This tool will help you to have your price points coming out. So you put this one on the stop loss here on top of the red line. Okay, that is your stop loss. You can make it larger if you're not seeing it clearly. Okay. See, so this is your stop loss now, right? Now, if you look at it, this is your entry, right? The entry is here. TP1 gives you exactly your money. Look at it. So from TP1, you start making exactly the amount you invested or you risked. Okay. Do you get my point? It gives you exactly what your risk, TP1. I mean, it gives you the 1-to-1 already. That's TP1. And TP2 gives you 3 times of your reward. This one will make you rich very fast. Actually, I like it. But that's also, yeah, that also, I mean, if you take 3 trades all in one, I mean, you get all. But this one trade gives you like 3 times. And most times, it gets to this TP2, most of the time. And some other times, it gets to TP3. Once in a while is when it gets here, and then I've not seen the one that hits stop loss. So maybe I was in there and all that, but then this is how it works. But then the only thing for me, I would just say you look out for again is whenever the trade is called for a buy, here you want to check, you want to make sure that the buy is either from this line. See this same candle here, this candle that was pointing to buy. So look at it, you want to be sure that it's where it's correlating here with this line, not from here. You don't want to buy from here. You want to be buying from here or you cross over from here. So let's see this one now. It says a buy, the triangle here. So this was the candle here that created the buy candle. This candle, it happened at the bottom here, right? So it's a good one. So long you confirm that one, just enter the trade. Okay, enter the trade, and that's how to take WOLF X. WOLF X doesn't even give much thing. Okay, and WOLF X, you can't go backward and see what has happened. The only thing is, of course, to indicate all the pressure points. Okay. Like here now, whenever you see all this dot red, it's about to call it sell. Whenever you see the dot white, sorry, it's about to call it buy, something like that. Yeah. Outside that, nothing more, nothing less. And also remember, the blue candles represent the buy candle, while the green one represent the sell candle. So if you, am I correct here? Yeah, I'm correct. So when you see the blue here, meaning the volume for buyers are more in the market, so the market will go. When you see this one forming, the market is about to go down. Okay, so that's why. So for here now, this blue was what pushed up this part. Okay, so that's how to use WOLF X, and that's all for me on this one. So the the Supernova and the WOLF X. WOLF X is simple, and I tell you, it has higher win rate. As a matter of fact, it has more win rate compared to Supernova as well. Yeah, but those two are good ones to start with. Now it's just like introductory training, okay, for you when you come in. Eventually, when you come in, we're gonna be working with you, hands, how do you call it, hands-on, and then you get used to it. It's a practical thing, okay? So that's all from me to you. I'm the mentor Ismail. Sign out. Thank you.